I'm going to carry on. We're actually going to carry on the discussion now about investment in Greece. And I'm delighted I've got two speakers who are going to join me now on the stage, and we're just going to have a conversation. Please, can I welcome Dean Metropoulos, who is the chairman and CEO of Metropoulos and Co, and Joan Koudounis, Chief Executive Officer of Calamos Investments. Welcome again. Very nice to see you. And take a seat. Here. Welcome. Take a seat. Okay, well, you were able to listen to that session, hopefully. So, that's got us off to a start. But welcome both of you, and we're going to have a to and fro. Maybe, John, we can start with you, but before we do that, I think we've got a video to play, a very quick video, just about 40 seconds. So can we have that, please?
It's incredible, the tradition. We're honored to be here and humbled to be here at the New York Stock Exchange. We're really, really happy that all of you are here to join us in this great day.
Thank you to everybody. This has been an amazing day. Can never take these things for granted. Going through this experience with my partners and my families has been unbelievable. We want to help people, we want to give people access, and we want to give back to the community. Something that is very important for me and my family. Let's try to change the world.
Well, John, I'm a massive NBA fan. I actually go to watch basketball in the States. I've actually got Nikola Jokic on my phone here.
Oh, very good.
But I'm a massive Giannis fan. I've got Giannis shorts, and I'm sure all the Giannis fans here, I've been lucky enough to see him play several times. Probably like me, everybody wants to know what this is, what it's all about. What is this Calamos endeavor with Giannis? What is this sustainable investment program that you're involved in? If you can tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. A few years ago, as we carry out in business, we became UNPRI certified in ESG and sustainable. We see the world moving that way, and we want to get involved. I searched throughout, and we found an incredible team that started and created the first fossil-free fund, and they've been investing in ESG or sustainability for over 25 years with an incredible track record. I hired the team right about the time when I met Giannis, and the owner of the Bucks, Mark Lazary, called me and said, I need help. Giannis is getting attacked by a lot of people. We'd love for you to put your arm around him and guide him. And so we came up with an idea. We share a lot of values together with Giannis, my partner John Calamos and myself, family, community, education. And we said, why don't we launch our ESG sustainable funds with Giannis? So we formed a JV, and that's what we did. So we started that in the New York Stock Exchange about a year ago, and we just got approved in Luxembourg, so now we can start selling it in 15 different jurisdictions in Europe. One of them is Greece.
Great. I think there might be another video that we have to play. Is there One Planet Prosperity? Is that?
Talks about the type of investment that the team that we brought on does.
Mm-hmm. Can we show that?
Sure, please.
Do we have that one, please?
Throughout history, humanity has achieved remarkable feats of innovation and progress. Yet this progress has come at a price. Since the mid-century, the ecological footprint of most nations has grown, with human populations now using 1.7 times more resources and services than our planet can replenish annually. This is our context. One Planet Prosperity, a concept developed by Global Footprint Network, provides us with a lens. As investors, our focus is on identifying global leaders who will thrive in a future of a growing population, climate change, and resource constraints. They're the global leaders, those who not only adapt to the future, but also shape it. This is Calamos' Sustainable Equity team's investment approach. For more information, please visit calamos.com or scan the QR code on the screen.
Okay, Dean, let me turn to you. I mean, I guess the investment world is changing, as we see, and ESG has become very important. Your company, you're a huge investor, very important one. I just wanted to ask you, about some examples of your company's investments in this region, your thoughts about, progress and opportunities here. And also maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you think Europe and Greece could improve its investment environment compared with the US, which is
very good.
a very different space.
We are first of all, it's a culture that companies have to promote because we're living in a world that's pretty frightening in many ways. The environment is changing very quickly. We see it around us every single day. So I think we need to really embrace ESG very, very aggressively. I think we need more governance because I'm not sure there's enough incentives. And the payback on a lot of investments is not there for a lot of businesses. In my businesses, and I feel very passionate about it, so I insist that we invest in ESG, both the environmental protection, and we do it in robotics, we do it in introducing AI in a lot of ways to control climate, water usage, et cetera. We also do it significantly around equality. It's amazing, wonderful countries like the US and Europe and many other areas. Inequality is still a major issue, whether it's women, whether it's color, whether it's still a major issue. So I think, yes, we're talking a lot more about it. That's positive. I think people are investing more around it. But progress is not as easily measurable as you would like to see in the decisions we make in our business. So I think that's going to continue to be a challenge. We see our environment, as I said, it's very scary to me when I just have a new young grandchild as to what he faces in the future. Heating oceans, melting all over the world, forests are disappearing. So those are major issues. In terms of the economy in Europe, I think Greece has done a pretty reputable job since the challenges a few years ago. This year will grow at 3 times the GDP growth than the Europeans are growing. I think it's retaining more bright young people here. It is attracting investment. You can see it all around us. I'm always impressed with Greece, the wonderful Riviera and real estate and all of that's attracting investing. But as we discussed and I heard earlier, the legal system needs to continue to be refined. I think it's not predictable to attract investors. I think transparency continues, to be an interesting opportunity. And so I think the other challenge, of course, is the Greek deficit, the GDP to the deficit, 154.8%. That's 85 in the UK, and 98 in France, 99 in the US, and that's of a lot of concern to us in the US because our GDP deficit's close to $34 trillion, and that's a major issue. But Greece has 154%, so that's very high level. So it's going to have to do a lot of things to get that under control going forward.
Sure. Having said that, it's come down from about 220%.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's going in the right direction, but obviously we need strong growth to over a long period in Greece. So, I mean, you talked about a scary world out there, but so I wanted to ask really how you see, John, the outlook for ESG investing in 2024 and beyond, given the many geopolitical and economic headwinds that we're facing. Not least we've got a lot of uncertainty in Europe about what happens in the elections coming up, and also, of course, in the US. So, how do you see it? Is it very uncertain, or?
I don't think it's uncertain in the fact that ESG and sustainability is definitely here to stay. And if you look at and survey the top 100 CEOs in the world, 90% of are already doing something or are in the process of doing something for their companies in that space. So that's definitely not going away. If you look at investable assets and the trend, it's been incredible. Now, we have had headwinds. especially the United States. But the United States is behind the rest of the world. If you look at Europe, there's a propensity of over 33% of companies to really, really focus on ESG, especially in investing. The United States is 18%, and Pan-Asia is around 22%. So the United States is behind that, and last year it became extremely politicized from the extreme left and the extreme right, which after the elections, I think things would start to smooth out. But if you look at the assets that are put into sustainable products, 2019, the numbers were in the low, about $23 trillion. In 2022, it surpassed $30 trillion. The projection is in 2030 to be over $40 trillion. When you look at the universe of investable assets, it's 140. So it's over 25% of investable assets. It's here, it's not going anywhere, and everybody's taking a look at it, and they have to, and it's going to continue to be a big part of how people look at the world.
Thanks. What's your view, Dean? Do you share that pretty positive outlook, in terms of the headwinds that we're facing, very uncertain geopolitical environment?
It concerns me probably much more so than John. Both Europe, Latin America, certainly the U.S., we're so divided as countries in this wonderful Western world, and forgetting the geopolitical challenges we're facing in so many places, but it doesn't allow for constructive dialogue at a political level and at a government level to bring solutions to some very urgent issues. So I'm very concerned with this divisiveness that's been around for several years and evolving, and we're seeing it much more activated in elections all over the place. So I'm concerned. Yes, those numbers are great, but I'm not seeing them have an impact as yet. We all advocate and we all talk about these trillions of dollars. I'm not seeing it necessarily have an impact. Yes, I do see progress, but is it a progress that's going to be able to get there quick enough to address the challenges? And my very serious concern is the divisiveness we have almost everywhere. Will prevent us to find constructive solutions as economies, as a political system, and as citizens. It's amazing. I've never seen in the U.S. such diverse positions that citizens have expressed, and as they have been expressing in the past few years. I don't think that's constructive to the environment, to our society, to our democracies, or any of it.
Okay. We'll see what happens after the U.S. elections. That's... and whether that divide, that extreme polarization that we're seeing might start to recede.
Yep.
I think we've got time for a very quick question and answer before we move on. So, John, Dean talked a bit about Greece, but maybe you could tell us about, your view of the opportunities and investment opportunities in Greece, and do you think that Greece is well positioned to experience growth in sustainable investment?
I think that Greece has made a lot of progress, especially as of late, and the current administration is doing a lot of things to try to promote sustainability. I know between the EU and the state, they're projecting about investing another $3.2 billion into sustainable projects. I know that they're very, very interested in trying to double the amount of funds to react to the fires and whatnot that the country's doing. They're putting incentives for people to insure their homes as well. So there's a lot of progress that's being made. Together with the stability that we're seeing with the government has made Greece once again a fantastic opportunity for investments. And I think we're seeing it in a lot of different sectors. We're seeing it not just in hospitality. We're seeing it with Pfizer. We're seeing it with Microsoft, who's made a huge investments. Amazon, Google. So it's a great people lead with their money and their mouth, and money is coming into Greece like it hasn't for many, many years.
Absolutely. Dean, you talked about some of the challenges, some of the things that still need to be done, more predictable taxation system, better regulatory environment, faster judiciary. But where are the opportunities in Greece and the wider region? There is more US investment coming in, for sure, in recent years. So opportunities, maybe we'll end on opportunities rather than challenges.
Oh, yes, there are. We can see them. And I agree with John. I think the government has created a lot of reputable momentum over the past few years. I think both in Europe and in the US, it's much more predictable from a governance point of view. So I think, and we're seeing wonderful projects. And as those projects continue to succeed and show results, you're going to continue to drive investment. So I truly believe that Greece is providing right now a very constructive environment for attracting capital and investment. So I think that's congratulations to the country for having gotten to that point. As I said, there are always challenges to all of us, but I think this is in a pretty good place right now.
Great. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for, but it's great to have both of you, on the stage with us to, give a perspective on the ESG investment scene, and I hope you'll come back next year and we'll
Thank you.
And share what you've been doing with us. So please join me in thanking our two guests.